tightened the rope around his hand, then slowly approached the hostile, wounded wolf. Seizing the moment when it wasn't paying attention, he swiftly looped the rope around its muzzle. However, the kind-hearted Kota did not harm the injured wolf. Instead, he went to gather herbs, carefully ground them into a paste, and gently applied it to the wolf's wounds. Nearby, hyenas snarled greedily. Having caught the scent of prey, Kota had no choice but to scoop up the weakened wild wolf and flee in panic. The man and the wolf spent the night in a cold cave. Yet, to Kota's surprise, the wolf managed to free itself from the muzzle restraint on its own. Kota cautiously offered a stone bowl filled with water, trying to show goodwill. But the wolf, rested after the night, its wild nature untamed, instantly bared its white fangs and issued a low, threatening growl, frightening Kota into keeping his distance. He gestured towards the water, simultaneously slowly pushing the stone bowl forward. Thirsty after a day, the wolf hesitated briefly before finally lowering its head and greedily lapping up the water, though its eyes remained fixed warily on Kota's every move. Seeing this, a faint smile touched Kota's lips. Summoning his courage, he tried to get closer again. Although the wolf still issued warning growls, Kota persisted, gently but firmly tending to its wounds. When Kota returned with a captured hare, the wolf's instincts resurfaced. As Kota focused intently on starting a friction fire, the wolf lunged towards the prey. Kota reacted swiftly, slapping it away with his palm. He then ripped off a strip of rabbit meat and sternly declared to the hungry wolf that he was the master of this food. After this confrontation, the wolf dared not make another reckless move. Not even after Kota got the fire going and began enjoying the delicious aroma of roasted rabbit. Kota's anger had already faded. He scolded the hungry wolf. If it wanted meat, it needed to learn obedience. The wolf seemed to understand his words. Only then did Kota toss it a small bone. Deep in the night, the man and the wolf sat side by side at the cave entrance. A long, mournful howl echoed across the silent wilderness in the distance. Kota understood in his heart, this wolf, like him, missed its own kind. The bitter cold of winter was approaching, and their injuries had mostly healed. The time for parting had come. Kota left first, but the wolf silently followed him. Discovering this, Kota waved his arms, trying to shoo the wolf away, yet the wolf stubbornly stuck to him like a burr. When Kota stopped, it crouched low, adopting a docile posture. When Kota ran, it immediately broke into a sprint to keep up. Kota picked up a stick, intending to scare it off. Instead, the wolf happily pounced, grabbing the stick and bringing it back, as if playing a fun game. This unexpected reaction stunned Kota. His small acts of kindness, offered without much thought, had inadvertently tamed humanity's very first wolf dog 20,000 years ago. He named it Alpha. What surprised Kota even more was that hunting with this new partner made him the weak link. Alpha's sharp gaze instantly locked onto the target. It shot forward like an arrow released from a bow. After a few fierce pounces, it drove a panicked boar straight towards Kota. Faced with the charging boar, the inexperienced Kota fumbled clumsily, letting the prey slip right through his grasp. Panting heavily, Alpha looked at Kota with disappointment. Compared to its former wolf companions, Kota was dead weight. From then on, Kota essentially became the one who reaped the rewards. Prey was largely captured by Alpha's strenuous efforts, but the authority to distribute it remained firmly in Kota's hands. This wolf dog truly embodied the characteristics of dog, loyalty, obedience, and a willingness to serve. Alpha followed without complaint or regret, their bond deepening with each passing day. Winter arrived as expected. The heavy snowfall made foraging extremely difficult. Kota had thought Alpha's company would dispel his loneliness, but one frigid night, a black wolf stealthily approached. Kota instantly became alert, tightening his grip on his weapon. Worse, pairs of eerie green eyes lit up in the darkness. It wasn't a lone wolf, but an entire pack. Surprisingly, Alpha showed no fear. Instead, it actively stepped forward to meet them. Short, sharp howls were exchanged, shifting from initial unfamiliarity and wariness to something familiar and warm. This was Alpha's former pack. It turned out, they had traveled through the snow and wind to find their lost companion. Soon, the lead black wolf turned and slowly led the pack away. Alpha looked back at Kota with reluctance. Kota understood its longing and nodded, signaling it should go. With Kota's permission granted, Alpha took one last, lingering look at him before turning and racing after the departing pack. Alpha's departure intensified Kota's longing for his homeland. Though parting was deeply painful, he couldn't stop Alpha from returning to its own kind. However, the very next day after their farewell, an unexpected crisis was about to descend upon Kota.